Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn 20 famous idioms in English language. I have already made 2 videos on idioms, and since many of you requested me to make another video on idioms, I'm making this video for you. Just for your information, I'll be making one more video on idioms, so that you can learn 30 idioms in total. So let's not waste any time and get started with today's lesson. At number 1, we have a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. This idiom means that it is better to have something which is certain rather than to try for something which is uncertain. For example, you have a job which pays you $2,000 per month, and you are thinking of quitting your job to do a new business, and if the new business fails, you won't have any income for a few months. In this situation, you should think about this idiom and then decide what to do next. At No. 2, we have actions speak louder than words. This idiom means that what a person does is more important than what he or she says. For example, your friend always says that he will help you if you need any help, but when you really need his help, he never comes to help you. In this situation, you can say that actions speak louder than words. At No. 3, we have all roads lead to Rome. This idiom means that there are many ways to achieve the same result. For example, there are many ways to learn a language. You can watch videos, you can read books, you can talk to native speakers, etc. All these methods will help you to achieve the same result. At No. 4, we have an apple a day keeps the evil spirits away. This idiom means that if you do something regularly, you will stay healthy. For example, if you eat an apple every day, you will stay healthy. At No. 5, we have a rolling stone gathers no moss. This idiom means that a person who keeps changing jobs or cities or countries will never be successful. For example, you have a friend who keeps changing jobs every 6 months, is not able to find a decent job, and this is because he is not sticking to one job. At No. 6, we have better late than never. This idiom means that it is better to do something now, even if it was supposed to be done a long time ago. For example, you were supposed to submit your project last week, but you submitted it today. In this situation, your colleague can say, better late than never. At No. 7, we have don't count your chickens before they hatch. This idiom means that you should not plan to use money that you haven't earned yet. For example, you have got an offer from a company which says that they will give you a bonus if you complete the project before the deadline. Now, you are planning to buy a car with that bonus money. If you complete the project on time, it's okay, but if you don't complete the project on time, then you won't get any bonus. So in this situation, you shouldn't count your chickens before they hatch. At number 8, we have curiosity killed the cat. This idiom means that being too curious can get you into trouble. For example, you work in an office, and you are trying to find out who leaked the confidential information to the media. In this situation, your boss can say, curiosity killed the cat. At number 9, we have every dog has its day. This idiom means that everyone gets a chance to be successful. For example, your neighbor always scolds you, but one day you see that he is in big trouble. In this situation, you can say that every dog has its day. At number 10, we have the early bird catches the worm. This idiom means that if you do things earlier, you will get more opportunities. For example, if you wake up earlier in the morning, you will have more time to prepare for the exams. At number 11, we have get off on the wrong foot. This is an idiom that means to start a relationship in a bad way. For example, if you meet a person and you argue with that person, then you are getting off on the wrong foot. At number 12, we have get your act together. This idiom means to start behaving in a more acceptable way. For example, your grades are very poor and your parents are not happy with that. If you want your parents to be proud of you, you need to get your act together. At number 13, we have a good beginning, makes the whole task easy. This idiom means that if you start doing a task in a good way, then it will be easier for you to finish the task. For example, if you start your work on time, it will be easier for you to finish your work on time. At number 14, we have a light heart carries the heavy load. This idiom means that if you are happy, you can face difficulties bravely. For example, you are carrying a heavy load, but you don't feel tired. It's because you are happy. At number 15, we have make no bones about it. This idiom means to accept the truth. For example, you failed the exam. Instead of blaming others for your failure, it's better to make no bones about it and try to study hard for the next exam. At number 16, we have let the cat out of the bag. This idiom means to reveal a secret. For example, you know that your friend is planning a surprise party for you. If you tell anyone about it, you will be a bad friend. So in this situation, you should keep quiet and don't let the cat out of the bag. At number 17, we have look at the bright side. This idiom means to look at the positive side of a situation. For example, you missed the bus and now you are late to reach the office. In this situation, instead of worrying about it, you should look at the bright side and think that at least you reached the office. At number 18, we have the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. This idiom means that other people's lives seem better than yours, but it's not true. For example, you see your friend partying every weekend, and you think that his life is great, but you don't know that he is in debt because of his partying lifestyle. At number 19, we have when in Rome, do as the Romans do. This idiom means that when you are in a different place, you should follow the customs and traditions of that place. For example, you are visiting Italy, and in Italy, people shake hands while saying hello. So when in Rome, do as the Romans do. And finally, at number 20, we have you can't judge a book by its cover. This is a very famous idiom that means you cannot judge someone just by the way he or she looks. For example, your new colleague is wearing casual clothes and you think that he is lazy, but later you come to know that he is actually very hardworking. So these were some of the most famous idioms in English. If you've learned something new, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends. Thank you for watching this video till the end. Take care and see you in the next video.